Hello. Today I'm going to start with a topic. Well, first off, I'm doing my makeup in my bathroom because it's winter break. We have some shopping we want to do. We're going to go see Santa. We got all these things going on and it's crazy in my house. So I need to hide the bathroom, get my makeup done at the same time and kill two birds with one stone. So today I'm going to talk about, like, if you ever felt stuck, like no matter what you do, you keep ending up in the same place, like, let me tell you, it's not just you, it's your patterns, right? Like if you're staying stuck in a position somewhere in a job, it's a pattern and there's ways to break that. So you're not alone because let me tell you, in today's live right now, you're going to uncover why your patterns are holding you back and how to identify them and how to stop and break free from them, okay? And by breaking free from them, I gotta keep trying to break in. Breaking free from them, it's like you're not there. You're not alone because I've constantly been there before. I've struggled with procrastination, with negative self-talk. I've quit things before I should, so you're not alone in this matter. So when it comes to breaking your patterns, you have to understand that you do things over and over again because we are programmed to believe things one way. It becomes really scary for our brain when we think about changing that pattern and breaking free of it. So I used to do the same thing. I've stayed places, like for example, I'm a salon owner, okay? I worked like 80 hours behind my chair when it wasn't even working and paying the bills, okay? I needed to probably walk away from the 80-hour work week behind my chair a long time ago because I knew it wasn't producing the life I wanted to live. But I stayed there, right? Because I was stuck in a pattern. I was stuck thinking, things would change or whatever because I was used to if I showed up, I got paid. Believe it or not, that's a pattern. When you know something isn't working, but you continue to do it, it's a pattern. So when I would show up for 80-hour work weeks, I would get 80-hour work week paychecks. So because I was stuck in that pattern, the result to me was I just have to work hard and I would figure it out. But again, that's a pattern because you've seen, for example, I come from a family where we worked really hard. And that's how you got paychecks. And if you wanted to be any kind of a successor in life, you worked really hard. And really hard got you paid. But in reality, millionaires work hard, but not the kind of hard you're thinking. It's kind of about working smart, not harder. And you have to figure out how to get to that place. But when you're stuck in a pattern, you're never going to break free enough to work smarter, not harder, because you don't realize you're stuck in that pattern. So let me give you a couple of examples so that you could figure out if you are stuck in a pattern so I can help you break free of it, okay? So patterns are like subconscious programs, okay? They're formed by our past experiences and beliefs. And even though the fear changing is scary, it gives you more fear than you need to. And your patterns keep you there because you feel safe. And even when they're not serving us, okay? So if you go to a job every day and you have a toxic environment and you hate your coworkers and you hate your boss and you hate it every day, then on Sunday you have anxiety about the week coming up. That's how much you don't like your job, right? But you're showing up anyway because your brain feels safe because you know a paycheck's coming out of it. So starting something new scares you. That's a pattern. Okay, let's take it another step further because maybe this isn't for you. Maybe this message for you today isn't about work. So a pattern could, for you, if you're stuck in patterns, but you don't realize it, another pattern could be staying in a relationship that's toxic, that doesn't serve you because your brain is scared of change. Well, what if he changes? What if it'll be better? What if it's me? What if it's this? Like a million reasons why you can't leave, right? That's a pattern. Okay, so when you're stuck in those patterns, your brain will keep repeating all these terrible things because your fear of failure, your fear of something more toxic coming. So that's a pattern. Okay, so I gave you two really good examples to identify if you're in a pattern. One, you're in a job you hate. Two, you're in a toxic relationship, okay? So if you believe you're not good enough, you might unconsciously avoid opportunities that could actually change your life because you don't believe you're good enough to take that jump, that your brain stays in that place, okay? Thinking, I'm not good enough, so why could I leave? Because it's a pattern. Your brain is repeating a pattern. So step one, you're gonna wanna watch this to the end because I'm gonna tell you exactly how I broke all my patterns, but I'm gonna give it to you in a step form. So step one, awareness. By starting to identify the pattern, you start to ask yourself, what keeps showing up in my life, right? What keeps showing in my life over and over again that keeps me in this pattern? Journaling is an amazing tool for this because as you ask yourself these questions, you could write them down, get them out of you. Like, let's fall out of agreement with this lie that you're telling yourself and write it down. So just becoming aware at that moment of what the pattern is huge. And you can make this like a challenge, right? Throughout the week, as you're walking through day-to-day life, start asking yourself this. Why do I keep doing this? What is coming up for me throughout the week as you're walking through day-to-day life? Start asking yourself this. Why do I keep doing this? What is coming up for me in this moment? What keeps showing up? So for me, I get really stuck in chaos. In this moment, what keeps showing up? So for me, I get really stuck in chaos. And I get stuck there. We're like, why do I keep repeating chaos, right? That was like that is a pattern for me. My life has been a never evolving, uncontrolled events of chaos, right? So I had to start challenging. Sorry, I've got kids, I got stuff everywhere. So I had to start challenging myself to identifying what is coming up for me in this moment and then writing it down. Okay, so step 2, challenge that belief. When you notice that pattern, when you catch it, ask yourself, is this true? Okay, where did this belief come from? And often you'll find it's rooted in from fear or past trauma. Okay, so when you identify where it comes from, again, journaling is a great tool because now you're writing down, where is this coming from? Is it true? No, it's not true. Your regular mind's gonna be like, no, that's not true. I know that I'm good enough. Why is my subconscious making me feel not good enough? So you're gonna identify that. So it's like, for example, if it's something small, like you always procrastinate, right? You set a small, actionable goal and a reward for yourself for completing it. Like, why do I always procrastinate? So like next time you're like sitting on the couch and you're like, I need to get up, I know I should cook dinner. You like jump up and get it. So like, you're like, because I did that, like I'm gonna give myself a cookie after dinner and I don't really eat sweets because I'm on a diet. Whatever. You're gonna set something really small and conquer it, because as you do that, you build your discipline muscle, and your discipline muscle builds confidence. So every time you do one of those moments where you're feeling like you really accomplished because you're conquering and breaking a pattern, give yourself a reward. I don't care what it is. It could be, I really wanted a Starbucks coffee and I've been telling myself I'm not going to do it. I'm going to reward myself with a Starbucks coffee because I didn't procrastinate and everyone was on time today. Whatever that means for you, right? Hey. So the third step is going to be getting support, right? So sometimes you need someone to hold you accountable, like an accountability partner. You've a friend, a coach, a mentor, a family member to help you see the blind spots, right? So that's something I do when you work with me. I'm a business coach and I use programs and online courses to help you start online businesses. But what I do when you coach with me is I'm like an accountability partner, right? Hey, did you follow through? Hey, did you finish it up? Did you post for today? Like, I'm your accountability partner, because when you come to me, you're usually in a financial crisis or you're not making it where you want to be making it. And you're kind of already in that place where you need some help and support, right? So by doing that, I'm like showing up with you. So if you need support, and say you're not really like financially stable enough right now to get a coach or a mentor, so you just use, your friend. If your friend is like, I'm sick of hearing you complain about money, let's do the damn thing already. She's your accountability partner, Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I'm not like over bouncing. So that would be like the getting support right? So I offer a freebie and a resource that helps you break through some of these patterns and start online businesses. So if you're interested from breaking patterns and you just don't know how to do it, let me know. I'll send you my worksheet that I give my clients when starting new businesses, how to break some of those patterns you're stuck in, right? But the next thing that I wanted to bring up in this topic though, sorry, I'm double checking something. Okay. Sorry, hi everyone, whoever just joining. I know you guys are in and out. Hi Jeff, hi Dreams, hi Diesel, hi Beachcomber, hi Susie, hey girl, hey Fannin. I'm just trying to catch up because I'm a little behind. I'm trying to do my makeup and I'm like, what was I talking about? Okay, so I gave you all your 3 steps, but the fourth one is what I did, okay? So I don't know about you, but like my brain is programmed to think negatively. So before I think positively, I always think negatively. And because of that, it's held me back. It's caused me to miss out on opportunities. It caused me to have lack of faith and trust in scenarios I probably should have. So because of that, I have to stay really strict on like a regimen, and I have to water my positive garden every day. And what I mean by that is for example, I woke up today, I woke up late, which I do not love doing, and then I get down on myself about it because then I'm behind. And I'm like, it's winter break. You have nowhere to go. Like, calm down. I like talk to myself. I nourish myself. I do inner child work, right? But most of all, I put on a podcast. I get my Tony Robbins. I belong to one of his memberships. I get him on. I put him in my ear and I do some hype. I get myself hyped up because I'm like, I know my weaknesses and I know that when I'm not working on them, they come right back. So I water my positive garden every day. And if Tony Robbins isn't resonating me at that moment, I go on my podcast channel and I find people that support my needs. Kayla Kraft is a coach I've worked with in the past. She's amazing. She works with like the very elite though, so she's very expensive. So I used her for when I could, and then I had to go on my own way for a little bit because it was getting really expensive. But I love her and she's so worth it. So she does a free podcast and oh my gosh, you get so much benefits out of her. It's not even funny. So I'll jump on one of her podcasts and I'll water my positive garden that way where I'm listening. Like she's helping you believe in yourself and understanding and breaking those patterns. So just by identifying I'm in a rough place today, instead of staying in that place and repeating the pattern of a negative bad day that you would do every day, by identifying it, which I told you in the 3 steps, by identifying it, challenging it, is this true? Why do I think that? And then for me, going all the way to step 4, watering my positive garden, getting me out of that place because I know I'm stuck in a bad spot right now. So by going on to that podcast, I get myself unstuck because I know what my head is doing. Like I know that this isn't reality. It's what our brains do, right? So, sorry, I'm like multitasking. So for me, watering my positive garden is a huge step in trying to get me out of that. So then number 5 is I take action. So when I know I hate a job, I don't stay there. Now, if I know like, okay, you got mouths to feed, you can't stay here right now, you can't leave right now, but you can't stay here forever, I go for side hustle, right? Like I don't do it now, but I used to do an MLM. Even when I worked 80 hours behind the chair at the salon, even when I was at restaurant jobs, I always had a side hustle, whether it was Arbonne, whether it was something I loved, whether it was working, I always had a side job, period blank. Even when I wasn't doing hair actively at a salon, I was doing hair in my kitchen while I was working somewhere else. Like I always found a side hustle because complaining doesn't produce results. So if I'm stuck in a place where I'm like, I know I need extra cash, I don't just sit here and talk about it. I need to take action. It's just as simple as like, say you didn't want to go to the gym, but you know you needed to work out. You just get up and you go and work out. Like you don't sit here and tell yourself a million reasons why you're not going to go. You just stop thinking immediately and just go do it because that would build your discipline muscle. And by building your discipline muscle, you're breaking a pattern because the old you would stay and complain about working out and go Monday I'll do it. But the new you is going to get up and go take care of business. And when you go and do that, you build stronger and stronger confidence in your brain. And now your brain believes what you set out to do. So when you say you're going to go do something, your brain believes you have the confidence to go do it because you've done it before. Now it doesn't happen overnight. Now when you say you're going to do something, this has to be on repeat. Like you've got to constantly believe you're going to go do it. If you're going to sit here and just talk about it, nothing's going to change. You got to be about it, right? So that's first and foremost, is that you cannot just talk. You got to breathe the change. You got to take the action. And as you're doing that, you'll get the confidence. And this could be something small like, okay, I don't know why dinner just keeps coming up for me, but lately cooking dinner for my family has been feeling so daunting. I hate it. Like I literally joke with my husband, if like I knew I had to make a full meal menu every single day for the rest of my life, I would have really thought twice about this whole family situation. Because it's just like another thing you need to think of, right? So when I go to say I want to make dinner, I'll sit there and procrastinate. And because I procrastinate, I don't get things done. So I just get up and I go do it. So these are really, really, really helpful, powerful tips that help me. This is what I do a lot with my clients. Like I hold my clients accountable and I help them get through any places they're feeling really challenged. So if you're in a place where you're feeling stuck in patterns, remember it's not you, it's your subconscious mind, and you can break through it. So I just wanted to jump on and give you some of those tips. Anybody who's having a hard time going into the new year, like you cannot go into this new year with the same thought process as last year and expect a different solution. Like if you are stuck in a job you hate because it gives you a paycheck, that's a pattern and you need to figure out how you're going to break it. So it's a classic example of comfort zone, honestly. And that's a pattern. Even though a job is draining you emotionally, mentally, or physically, like you stay there anyway. That's literally because it feels safe to you. It makes you, it's predictable. Like, you know a paycheck's coming at the end of the week or every 2 weeks. So you stay there even if it's deep down miserable, because that's a pattern. And that pattern makes you feel safe. So you just stay. But it's tied to a subconscious belief. So if the pattern is often rooted in fear and limited beliefs, you might think like, okay, what if I fail at something new? What if I don't like something new? What if I can't find another job? Or I'm not good enough to pursue my passion? There's beliefs that keep you stuck in repeating the same cycle where you start to drain yourself all the time of your confidence. And that's why it's important to work on that discipline muscle so you are stronger in your belief. And journaling these things will help you get out of it as well. So, and here's the thing though, this isn't just like about a job. This is a pattern that shows up in other areas as well as staying in a job, just like staying in a relationship that no longer serves you or staying in a friendship that no longer serves you. Both of those are huge indicators of patterns that need to be broken, that are deeply rooted into an emotion somewhere. And they're holding you back and keeping you in unhealthy areas because you're avoiding risk that can lead to growth. So when you're avoiding the risk that leads to growth, it's keeping you stuck in the same place. So the longer you stay in that pattern, the more it chips away at your confidence, the energy, your ability to dream. It teaches your brain to settle, to accept less than you deserve, and to avoid discomfort. Even when you know there's something better, but your brain is not trying to be discomforted, so it's going to make you avoid it. And then it even leads to something like, it leads to depression. It leads to lack of self-worth because you're stuck in that system so hard that your like opportunity neural pathway is like gone. So like, here's the truth about it though, like staying in that job, your like opportunity neural pathway is like gone. So like, here's the truth about it though, like staying in that job would literally about to give you any kind of extra paycheck than the one you had before. It's just giving you the same paycheck you always have, but it's avoiding uncertainty and change. And what if you can reframe that? What if you could reframe that to, what if instead of asking, what if I fail? What if you say, what if I succeed? And by creating that new question, because I always say your quality of life is based on the quality of your questions. What if by providing yourself that question, you open a pathway to opportunity, you know, because your brain starts thinking, wow, well, what if I do succeed? What if this really is for me? And then you break the pattern. And that doesn't mean quitting your job tomorrow. It starts with recognizing that you're in a pattern and asking yourself, what do I really want? And what's one small step closer I could take to getting it? Then you start to open your eyes to different things that you're not like, that is just mind-blowing difference, because your brain's going to start looking for opportunities now. Instead of looking for reasons why you won't leave, your brain's going to start looking for opportunities. Okay. So I'm hoping that you like, have you ever, you start to like recognize these moments and break free of them, you know, because I mean, has anybody on here ever stayed in a situation that doesn't serve them anymore? Right? Like, you know what I'm talking about if you're in the pattern, because you're sitting here in yourself, you're like, yeah. So it's like, have you ever stayed in a situation longer than you should have? Like, that's what you need to recognize. I promise you most of us have. Like, is it because you felt safe? Is it because you felt secure? What is coming up when you ask yourself that question? Because I would love to help. Like, let me know in the comments, because I would love to help you break free of that when you're asking yourself this question, like, why am I still here? Is it because I feel safe? Do I not believe I have more? Like, let me know in the comments. DM me. I would love to break free of that for you. And then, it's like that one job I had one time. This one year, I was working this waitressing job, and I felt stuck because I was in hair school, and I wanted to just quit hair school and stay at the waitressing job. But like, I knew that if I just kept going, I would get out of it. But I stayed there way too long. And I even stayed there after hair school, and it stopped me from getting a job sooner in the hair world. There's just so many patterns that we can break free of it, that we need to reframe our brain in, you know? So I hope that gives you some help. I hope that gets to the person that needed to hear that, because I know that when I was like struggling with that, I needed to hear it. I would follow everybody who talked about these kind of things all the time, and it was really helpful because it was watering my positive garden. So hope that can help somebody today. Catch it on YouTube if you missed it, and I will catch you later. Merry Christmas if I don't see you soon.